Dear family and friends, it is with great sadness that I send you this update on baby Samuel. We have been seeing a perinatologist at the University of Washington in Seattle, related to concern over the small size of our baby. On Tuesday, we were given the horrible news that our precious son is not expected to live. There is a good chance he may pass away before he is born or will pass shortly after birth. He has a lethal form of skeletal dysplasia, which causes his bones not to grow as they should. His chest circumference is too small to house fully mature lungs, therefore making breathing impossible.
It was heart-wrenching because it was like getting a terminal illness diagnosed, and we were mourning the loss of our unborn child. We had a funeral planned.
There was lots of consultation with the University of Washington geneticists and perinatologists, and following with ultrasound, and the pattern remained that the baby continued to show decreased growth of the bones. The measurements of the chest cavity were less than 1% of what they should be. And so at that point we were fairly convinced that Sammy was not going to live.
Prior to the delivery, to talk about what plan we wanted to put in place for the delivery. It was really important for Jeff and I to know that Sam was not going to suffer. And so Dr. Rolls and Dr. Engelhardt just really reassured us that we would do everything at the birth afterwards to make sure he was comfortable, and that we would get to hold him in a special blanket that we brought for whatever time he had.
The plans for delivery were to do a cesarean birth at about 34 weeks, and because we have the sort of the expertise here on the part of Beth Engelhardt to take care of small babies and babies with birth defects, we felt very comfortable, delivering the baby at Memorial Hospital. The University of Washington was very comfortable with Sammy being born here.
It was quiet as could possibly be in that delivery room. You could have heard a pin drop because everybody knew the situation, and nobody was looking forward to it. And he came out, Dr. Rolls got him out, and he just started screaming so loud, and it was just music to my ears. It was the best sound I could ever heard. Finally, they handed Sam to Jeff, wrapped in our blanket, and he brought them over. Well, because he was wrapped in our blanket that we brought, that signaled to Jeff that this was it, the countdown was on.
I didn't make the connection that screaming meant that he could breathe. And the fact that he was screaming, I was so pre-set in my mindset that we only had a few moments with him, and that I needed to cherish each moment.
After he brought the baby over to me, we were both looking at him and just trying to savor every second, because still not knowing. And then Dr. Engelhardt came over, and that's when I asked her, is the prognosis the same? And she said, he's doing much better than we expected him to do. And so I said, does that mean he needs to go to the NIC unit? And she said, yes. And that's when both Jeff and I said, just hurry, take him now, just do whatever you have to do to help him.
It was tough because we had initially said at no point once Sammy's born will he be separated from Jeff and Nikki. We want them to have that time. So Beth was now making the call, I think Sammy's going to make it, but to give him the best chance, we need to separate you and take him down to the nursery. They
wheeled me down in my hospital bed to the NIC unit, which is not normal protocol, just in case we didn't have a lot of time with him. And so that meant more to me than anything, because it was so important to me to have whatever time we had with him.
I had purchased 2 matching rings, one I will wear for the rest of my life and one to bury with my son. Now someday when Sam is old enough to understand, I will give him his ring.
He had the best doctor, Dr. Engelhardt. I just can't say enough good things about her for her care of Sam. And all of the nurses in the NIC unit were just, they were fabulous.
Points out the importance, I think, of having a good supportive network in the community. And then, of course, after he's born, having all the support services, because he does have challenges, but they have all these support services in Yakima that can support Sammy through these first few years. I think is obviously a big part of it.
Well, we're back to give you an update on how our son Samuel is doing. He is now 21 months old, coming up onto his second birthday, and I'm happy to report that he is doing awesome. He's healthy, he's strong, developmentally he is right on track, and he is very smart. The only thing is he's still small. He's definitely behind for his age in his growth. But so far, all of the tests that he has had done since his birth have come back normal. And so that's very, very encouraging to us. And the next step, if we want to, is to just see a endocrinologist to check for growth hormones. There's some days when he's in his crib and he's sleeping. And I'll sit in his room or stare at him and just, listen to his breathing and him being so peaceful, and I will start to cry, of course, just because I get overwhelmed with that. And I feel so blessed to be his mother. He has changed my life for the better, and I can't imagine life without him.
He hardly ever cries. It's hard to even tell if he needs to have his diaper changed because nothing upsets him. And he's just an amazing child.
We are just so grateful that here in Yakima, we have Children's Village through the Children's Miracle Network, and that we don't have to travel to Spokane or to Seattle. We have help here, we have support here, and that's just really reassuring.
Very thankful to Memorial Hospital and Children's Miracle Network and Children's Village for all the support that we had. We will never forget everything that we went through 2 years ago almost now. And we're just excited and thrilled. I thought I believed in miracles before, but now I know they do exist.